Hi all, welcome to my channel Success Mantra for IELTS. I hope you all are doing great, right? So in today's video, we are going to look at the sample test of your IELTS speaking. So as you know, in your IELTS exam, you will be having 4 modules like listening, reading, writing and speaking. And the speaking test lasts for about only 11 to 14 minutes. So in today's video, you are going to look at a sample test. So without any further ado, let's get started. And make sure you watch till the end of the video because I'm going to share why she scored 7.5 and why not 8 or 8.5. And also I'm going to give you the tips at the end of the interview. Now, as you know that we are going to do a complete test, make sure even you try to answer it by pausing the video. What you can do is, once you listen to the question, make sure you pause the video and try to answer to the question so that it will be a practice as well. Without any further ado, let's get started with the test. So today we have Jahnavi, who is the test taker, and Priya, and I'm doing an examiner part. As you know, you will be sitting in a noise-free room and the examiner will be asking you questions and it is like a one-on-one interview, right? And you have 3 parts, that is part 1, part 2 and part 3. So we'll be doing all the parts in this video. So let's start with the part 1. Hi, could you show me your identification card, please?
Sure, this is my identification card.
Thank you. Could you tell me your full name, please?
My name's Jahnavi.
What shall I call you?
You can call me as Jahnavi or Janu.
Does your name have any special meaning?
Most of the Indian names do, and mine is not an exception. My name is from Indian origin, which means River Ganga, which is a great river between India and Bangladesh, and also a source of life for millions of people. And this name is very popular in our country and is also unique.
What do you study?
I graduated a decade ago as an engineer and I worked as a senior business analyst in London in a well-renowned firm. I'm now a full-time mother of 2 babies and I study online courses to only keep myself updated with the latest technologies.
Why do so many people change their names?
Well, in our country, people usually change their surnames. For example, the women, when they usually get married, they change their surnames to their husband's surnames or to their husband's name. That is very common and popular in our country. But otherwise, there is no specific reason that I see in order to change their name until and unless if they are a criminal and they have a criminal record who wanted to change their identity.
Is your name important to you?
Yes, of course. I do like my name because it's of utmost importance to me. And it's also given by my beloved parents and it symbolizes the love from them. And it also reflects my personality and it is a unique identification for myself.
Now let's talk about hometown and birthplace. So this is the topic in part 1. Where do you come from?
I hail from a picturesque city named Visakhapatnam, which is in the southern part of India in a state called Andhra Pradesh.
Where do you live?
I currently stay with my parents in my hometown Visakhapatnam because of the lockdown. But otherwise, I live in London.
Can you tell me something about your hometown?
As I had mentioned earlier, my hometown Visakhapatnam is a picturesque city with many scenic spots and breathtaking views. It is one of the best places available, and it also attracts many tourists for its well-known places, which includes Kailashagiri, the famous Ramakrishna Beach, Erada Beach, and Rishikonda Beach. And it has also got some distinctive buildings.
What do you think about online shopping for gifts?
Well, I am not a person who is interested in online shopping, especially when it comes to gifts, because I feel that gifts are something very personalized that you can gift someone. So in my perspective, I feel that that is something that you can go to a shop and find something that is unique to a person and buy it, because online shopping is very different, because the product that you see on screen is very different when you get it originally. So I always am a person who loves to do the traditional shopping instead of online shopping. But having said that, with changing times, because of the coronavirus pandemic that has hit all over the world, now I at least prefer to do online shopping rather than going to shopping in a traditional way.
Can you tell me some history of your hometown?
Yes, of course. Our city is named after Vishaka, who is the son of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati, and who is also the ruler of Mars. Later, our city was named as Vishakhapatnam by the Andhra king sometime in between the 9th and the 11th century.
Right. Now this is the end of the part 1 of your IELTS speaking test. So we are going to now move forward to part 2, that is the cue card round. So in cue card, you will be given a topic. So here is your paper and the pencil to note down. So you have 1 minute to take notes and prepare on the topic, and here is the topic card. Talk about a party you went to which you enjoyed. Your sub questions are: where the party was, why the party happened, who was at the party, and explain why you enjoyed the party.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm going to describe about my friend's 30th birthday party that we had been to very recently, a few months ago. We were about 10 of us, which includes some of our work colleagues, some very best friends, and some old friends. We started the party in the evening at a renowned Indian restaurant, and we enjoyed delicious and mouth-watering biryani. And we had discussed about each other's lives and exchanged our viewpoints. We exchanged our ideas, joked around, and talked about a lot of other things. We also talked about the current pandemic that is hitting in China that time. From there, we headed to Ramakrishna Beach, which is during the pitch dark time, and we enjoyed the pleasant atmosphere with a cool breeze. We talked about a number of ideas, and we also had a conversation about each other's family members. It was a very special occasion for us, and we had a lot of fun because we had met some of our old friends also during that time whom we haven't met since our childhood. And so it is so close to our heart, and that was the last time that we had met before the lockdown. And so it became the very special meeting for me. And it was also a lot of fun because we had opened up all our memories and brought back all the happiness in us. And so it is a very enjoyable party that I had been to during the recent times.
Right. So time is up. You're done with the part 2. Let's move on with the part 3. So in part 3, as you know, it's an advanced discussion round. We will be asking you more advanced questions related to the part 2, right? So let's start with the first question. What kinds of social events are more popular in your country?
There are many social gatherings that happen in our country, India. But the most popular ones are the family parties that happen because of birthdays or marriage celebrations, which are widely spread. And there are also some special occasions which we host family parties for, is because if some of the young children have scored good marks, or if anyone gets promoted to a higher position, then also we do celebrate them with our family members. And these kind of social gatherings are the most popular in our country.
Do you think it's a good idea for colleagues at work to spend time socially together?
Well, in my perspective, I do feel that we should equally spend enough time socially with our work colleagues. Reason behind that is because we spend a lot of time with them during in the workplace. And it is equally important to understand our colleague as a person, because that way we can get more benefits from them even during our work environment. And it is also good to exchange some of our ideas, because it would also help us in the professional front. And so I always feel that it is a good thing to incorporate or to hang out with our work colleagues socially.
What changes have there been in social life in your country?
Well, we all know that the coronavirus pandemic has hit many countries and is spread throughout the world, because of which there have been many changes in our social lives. So we couldn't imagine meeting any new people in the near future, or at least few months down the lane. So there have been definitely many changes that are being incorporated in our social lives. For example, if we consider marriage as one of the example, then during the previous days, marriage used to be conducted in India, especially marriage used to take place with a number of people, or with at least 500 to 1,000 people in the procession. But now the government has only allowed 15 to 20 people during a wedding ceremony because of the coronavirus pandemic. And likewise, there have been many social events that are widely affected because of the pandemic.
Would you agree that technology can have negative effects on the way people spend their leisure?
Technology plays a very important role. And because of the advancements in technology, it has got both advantages and drawbacks to it. And so to say, it does have negative effects on people in spending their free time. I do feel that many people do spend their free time by getting stuck on their phones or onto their laptops or computers. People usually don't try to spend their time with their neighborhood or with the people sitting next to them. So it's a very hard and tough situation, and it's a very sad situation for the entire country or I must say to the world, that the people are being more influenced with the advancements in technology rather than taking its positive effects. And I feel that these negative effects should be reduced as much as possible and try spending their free time with their loved ones and family.
Okay, we are done with the speaking test. So, thank you. So guys, I hope you have seen the speaking test and you've understood how the test taker or the applicant must answer to the questions and how the test will go, right? So it'll be in the same manner that we have showed you an example, right? So it's going to be the same. Don't panic, don't get nervous. Make sure you answer more. I mean, try to speak more, talk at length. Make sure you extend your answer, but don't be precise in what you're answering. Try to extend. That's very important. And as I told you that I'll be sharing you few tips at the end of the test, right? So let me start with the first tip. So the first tip is to make sure you try to understand the question carefully. Now, most of the students I have seen that they don't try to understand the question carefully, right? So they don't pay attention and listen mindfully when the examiner is asking the question. So make sure you understand the question carefully, because if you don't understand the question, you may answer it wrong, and of course you are going to lose points. So try to understand the question carefully, right? And if you haven't understood, I mean, sometimes it does happen that might be you misunderstand the question. So make sure you ask for clarification. You can ask them to repeat it for you, right? So try to understand the question carefully. Now the second tip is talk as much as you can. See, this is a test which is actually testing your communication skills, especially your spoken English. So when it's testing your speaking skills and your spoken English, you must be able to answer it at length and try to extend your answer. Don't give short answers or one-word answers like yes, no, I like it, I love it, something like this. No. Stop it if you're doing. Make sure you try to explain and give it a reason. Make sure for every question, if suppose I ask you what is your favorite food, you will be answering what your favorite food is, and make sure you also answer why you like that food, right? So that's very important, and make sure you talk at length, but don't talk less, talk more, right? So that's very important. And the third tip is take a look at your vocabulary. Now, when somebody asks you about any topic, right, try to use synonyms of that. Just now I've picked a question, what is your favorite food? So try to add synonyms for food like cuisine, right? I want to have this dish or dessert. So try to add some names to it, to the food that you like, or might be try to use synonyms. Like if suppose you take the word film, you can use substitute words like picture, movie, instead of using the same boring word film throughout your answer. Because if you take in your part 2, you will be having a questions or topics, questions on film, like talk about an interesting film or describe an interesting film. So when you get this question, you must be able to use synonyms for the word film, because that is the main topic, right? So since the topic is all about films, you should not use the same word throughout your answer. Try to use synonyms. So this is what you need to prove the examiner that you have a good range of vocabulary, right? So make sure you at least gather vocabulary for the common topics that are there. So as you know, in IELTS speaking, you have common cue cards. So try to pick the cue cards and make sure you gather some vocabulary related to each topic. It is always better idea to keep topic-wise vocabulary so that you can use them in your exam. And the last tip here is make sure you use complex and compound sentence structures. Most of the students, they use simple sentences. As you know, people might be at basic level or at intermediate level. They try to use simple sentences all the time to explain their answers. So make sure you use complex and compound sentence structures. So if you don't know what is a complex and compound sentence structures, I will make a video on that. Make sure you comment in the section so that I will know. If you require that, I'm surely going to make a video on that as well. Right? So I hope this helped you a lot. And if you like the video, make sure you like, share and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. And also make sure you follow our updates whenever it's possible. We are going to even conduct a live session. So if you're interested in the live sessions, so make sure you comment. Okay? Until then, bye guys. Take care. Have a nice day. Stay home. Stay safe.